Hello and welcome to the abbreviated season finale of Fisher Football Focus. I'm your host, James Bailey. The Cardinals' season ended on November 19th. Fisher took on the stout Frostburg State Bobcats in the Asa S. Bushnell Bowl, held in Philadelphia. The Cardinals were looking to end their season on a high note 1 week after falling to Alfred. Let's see if they did. Both teams went back and forth in the first quarter, with Frostburg breaking through first. Connor Cox finds receiver Russell Neverton in the back of the end zone for the game's first score. Later on in the quarter, Fisher's defense would get going. Cox gets flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his left, and is picked off by senior safety DJ Ligori. That would help set up this bit of trickery. Quarterback Matt Nayton swings the ball out to his left to wide receiver Mike Cliccio, who then whips it down the field to freshman wide receiver Dylan Harrington, 21 yards to knot the score at 7. Late in the first half, Frostburg would regain the lead. Cox takes the snap on a designed quarterback keeper and just sneaks into the end zone from 20 yards out. 4 plays later, the momentum would really swing the Bobcats' way. Nayton's cross-body pass is picked off by Frostburg's Graylin Walker, who gets a few blocks and is able to score down the sideline for a 55-yard pick six. Then after a 3-and-out gave the ball back to Frostburg, the Cats would really pour it on. Cox finds Jamal Morant streaking down the middle for a 20-yard touchdown to put Frostburg up 28-7 at the half. It would be more of the same in the third. Cox is again forced out of the pocket and whips a 47-yard pass on the run right into the hands of Austin Bonsell to further extend the Frostburg lead. There would be a little sentimental value for Fisher. Nayton throws a screen pass to senior Tony Fusco, who was able to weed through the traffic and make it into the end zone in his final play as a Cardinal. Fisher would ultimately fall to Frostburg by the final score of 38-14. Nayton ended up with 335 yards passing and 1 touchdown in his final game. Fusco ended up with just a shade under 100 total offensive yards in his final performance. Both of Fisher's senior safeties each entered the game with an interception. The Cardinals would finish the season with an 8-3 final record. The Cardinals have also received a lot of media attention in regards to the bowl game, specifically their actions pre-kickoff. Due to technical issues, officials at Franklin Field decided not to play the national anthem before the contest. A few Cardinals decided that wasn't right and started belting out the anthem themselves. It was not long before the entire Fisher sideline stood in solidarity and sang the song together. The story has swept through local media and even made it to the national level, with the Daily Wire writing a piece on the Patriotic Act. While the Cardinals were unable to pull out the victory in the bowl game, they were able to pull out a victory in the hearts of proud Americans. 9 Cardinals can also leave the season on a high note, feeling victorious on a personal level. These 9, of course, were the 9 Cardinals represented on the Empire 8 All-Conference teams. Left tackle Austin Coleman led the Cardinals as their lone representative on the first team. Fellow offensive linemen Kyrie Demos and Ross Matthewson made the second team, along with quarterback Matt Nayton, wide receiver Will Kuhn, defensive end and running back Chris Smith, linebacker David Carroll, safety DJ Ligori, and cornerback Alec Mortolaro. Congratulations, gentlemen. Also, before we wrap up, let's check in on the NCAA Division III Tournament. Fisher had 2 regular season opponents make the playoffs. Olivet, whom the Cardinals defeated 52-10, lost in the first round to Ohio-based John Carroll. Meanwhile, the Empire 8's lone representative is still alive. Alfred, who defeated the Cardinals 38-17 en route to an undefeated regular season, has defeated Bridgewater State and Western New England in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. They now face their toughest task yet in the quarterfinals as they face perennial powerhouse Mount Union in what should be a very interesting matchup. That's unfortunately all the time we have for this episode. I'd like to take this time to thank everyone involved who helped make this such a successful season. Thank you to Coach Vosberg for coming on every week you could and scheduling all my other guests. Thank you to those other guests, all the coaches and players that sat down across from me and fielded every question I asked. Thank you to everyone who worked behind the scenes, from Jake Tinker, Caitlin Murphy, Justin Gould, Ed Vivenzio, Justin Peretti, Evan Bordis, and even Nick Ferguson, who came out of retirement to help on one episode. Thank you especially to CTV advisor Cecil Felton for directing each episode and getting it on air. And a big thank you to all of you, the viewers, for tuning in each week to catch up on your Fisher football team. It's been a blast, and I, like many of the Cardinals' offensive weapons, still have 1 year of eligibility left, so I look forward to doing this all again next year. For Cardinal Television, I'm James Bailey. Catch you next season.